So the second most common mistake that I see from really low league players, expanding on my last video, are the inability to follow a set build order. Many times I see they will start a build order and it will never end up accomplishing anything because they messed up somewhere or perhaps forgot some supply. So one of the best ways to improve this, obviously, is to practice build orders. I suggest finding one good build order that works for each matchup and just doing that and that alone. Practice makes perfect, as they say, and the more you do the build order, the tighter your spending will be, and the more you'll get a feel of how you can macro better once the build order phase is complete. So here's a pretty simple one Reaper fast expand build, TvZ. This isn't going to be in the front of the other videos. I'm going to be making two other videos, a TvT and a TvP builder, as well as 3 application videos where I will be playing Masters level opponents on ladder. Most have over 1,000 points, so you can see how they will be, how the units can be used in real games. Okay, so this is going to be a standard 10 depot, 12 barracks, 13 gas build. For those who may not know, if you've just started playing the game perhaps, I will note to you that supply is this number in the top right corner. It's one number over a larger number generally, and once you hit that larger number, so once it becomes 11 out of 11, you will not be able to make any more workers until you create a supply depot. Now, supply only counts when it is being produced. So as you can see, this command center is making an SCV. It's at 9 supply, and this second SCV behind it does not count towards supply. So, but when that 9 supply SCV finishes, it will begin the next SCV, and your supply will be at 10. Now, this is when you want to start your first depot at your ramp, which will be your wall off. Against Zerg, you want to wall off because their primary early game units are melee, which means that a wall should be able to hold them back while your SCVs repair the buildings that are holding them back. We're going to fast forward a little bit here. Standard 12 at 12 supply, you want to make a barracks. At 13 supply, you take your gas, and you make SCVs until you have 15 supply, and put 2 SCVs on the gas as soon as possible. As soon as the barracks finishes, you want to start your orbital command and use the SCV that was making the barracks to finish your wall off with an additional supply depot. As soon as you have 50 minerals and 50 gas, you're going to start a Reaper. He will be used to scout or harass or whatever you like, and this is all the while making SCVs. Once the Reaper is completed, you want to lift off the barracks and make a tech lab. And with your next 400 minerals, you're going to be starting your expansion. As soon as the tech lab is finished, start stim and start a marine. At your next 150 minerals, we're going to throw down a second barracks, and we're going to make a supply depot at 22 supply. It's a narrow window that you don't want to miss, and this is all the while, again, making SCVs. At 100 gas, you're going to start your factory. 100 gas and 150 minerals. And start a second gas as soon as you start your factory, as soon as possible. When the orbital command finishes, turn it into when a command center finishes, turn it into an orbital command, and put a reactor on the second barracks that you are making as soon as it finishes as well. As soon as the factory is finished, use that same SCV to start your starport and throw a reactor onto the factory as well as soon as you can. When the reactor finishes on the barracks, start pumping marines, and the other barracks has been pumping marines this entire time. And these two orbital commands are both rallied toward the same mineral line. And remember not to get supply blocked. You can go back and check when my supplies were. I believe I'll tell you at the end. I'll give an annotation right here. So as soon as the starport is completed and the factory is completed, swap them and make 2 medevacs. Move your army out into your natural and move your orbital command to your natural, as well as 5 or so SCVs from your main, so that it's not oversaturated. continue making Marines, start combat shields, and then and a Widow Mine from the factory, and move out with this force plus your 2 medevacs. Now this is the end of the build order. There's not much else. I'll go in depth and I'll show you guys a game of me using this same build order in a video later, but that's the basic gist of it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.